Hey y'all, happy Monday. Welcome back to another virtual math class here with me, Mr. Spencer. I am so glad you're here for our final week in the Different But Same series. I know last week was kind of funky, and we didn't really call it the Different But Same series, but we're still in the same series, Different But Same. I know last week was a very funky week since we thought there were going to be some schedule changes. Some people were going to be coming back to school in person. And then they said, hold up, nobody's coming back, no schedule changes. So it was strange. This week is also a little strange because we will not have any classes or assignments tomorrow, Tuesday, November 3rd, at all for any of your classes because it is election day. More on that coming in just a minute. But I do want to say I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to my house. This is the first day I have spent teaching our synchronous live classes all day from my house. So same experience for you as it is for everyone else. But let's get started. Here we go. In our Different But Same series last week, this is the last week. Our agenda, we're going to start with the do now. Then we're going to look at the week ahead. Our welcoming activity today is going to be the emoji of the day today. But there's a little twist, something a little different than it has been before. Then we're going to take some notes on improper fractions, going to mixed numbers, and that's really where we'll wrap up today. We didn't have time for 5, 6, or 7 today, and since we didn't do it in our live synchronous classes, I'm not going to do it on this recorded synchronous class either. But I did keep the agenda the same for everybody, so we're going to stop at 4 today. But our first task today is going to be a do now. We haven't really done many do nows because our time is so short. We don't necessarily start every day with a do now, but we are going to start one today. There are going to be 3 problems that relate to what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Here they are. The first problem is 2 1/7 times 3. It's a mixed number times a whole number. Our second problem looks very similar. It is 2 1/7 times 2/3. Only instead of being a mixed number times a whole number, it's now a mixed number times a fraction. And our third problem is 3/4 times 5/10. This is just a fraction times a fraction. All right, so before you pause the video to work on these 3 problems, there is one thing I want to make sure that you hear because it's very important. When you have solved these 3 problems, please make sure to put your work and your answer somewhere that I can get it. It can either be in a comment on this video, the discussion post today, a message to me on Schoology, an email, or a text, but please make sure you submit your work and answers in some form so that I can give you feedback on what you're doing and check in with you before we take any quizzes or assessments on this. Awesome, so pause the video here, solve these 3 problems, then unpause it when you are ready to go. Awesome. I'm so glad you took the time to do those 3 do now problems. Make sure you submit them somewhere so I can give you feedback on them. This is what our week ahead is going to look like. Hopefully you won't look like Bailey up there wearing a donut around her belly, but that's a story for another day. Monday is today. We've already gone through what we're doing today. Tuesday there is no school. It is election day. We don't have school that day because so many schools are used as places for people to vote. We don't want necessarily people who are coming in from the community and anyone who is coming in to vote to be in the same school as students just for safety reasons. So that is a day that no students in Nashville have to go to school, but your favorite teachers and your not so favorite teachers, all of us have to work tomorrow. So we will be working. But please remind any adults in your life who can vote that it is important to vote and they should go vote. If they haven't voted already, I early voted because you can do that in Tennessee. You can vote before election day. I early voted a week and a half ago now. But if there are adults in your life who have not voted, remind them to vote. It is their right and their responsibility. Then Wednesday, we're going to do a math task in breakout groups. Don't worry if you're not in a live synchronous class and you're in a recorded synchronous class. We'll take care of the math task for y'all as well. And then we're also going to introduce Flipgrid. You may have heard of Flipgrid before. It is a short video recording that you can respond to questions and then respond to people's responses to those questions. I know some of our 6th grade teachers use it as well as Miss Hall on the other 5th grade team, and they all love it, so I'm excited for us to get introduced to it. On Thursday, it's going to be our independent asynchronous day of the week. We are going to do IXL K6. It's about some word problems with fractions and mixed numbers. And then we're also going to create our own Flipgrid video. So excited about that. And then on Friday, we are going to do a review of Chapter 8. I bet you didn't even know we were in Chapter 8 this whole time, but that's what we were. That's what we are. And then we will play a Kahoot as long as you're caught up on everything. Awesome. So, kicking it off today, we're going to do the emoji of the day with a twist. I want you to choose the emoji you feel like right now. And there are a lot more emojis than there usually are. And also, there's a second part. I want you to choose the emoji that you would like to feel like by the end of the day. So how do you feel right now? And then how do you want to feel at the end of the day today? Either the end of the school day, the end of the, by nighttime, or even I could say, how do you want to feel tomorrow if you're watching this late at night tonight? But share it somewhere. Share it in the comment or in a discussion post. I'd love to hear what you think. Take some time. Choose your emoji you feel like right now, and then the emoji you'd like to feel like by the end of the day. I'd love to share mine if that's okay with you. So right now, I feel like this one right here. My computer decided to act really funky today. The time wasn't right, so I said, okay, I'll restart my computer. But then when I restarted it, it didn't let me log in. And I'm also still trying to figure out this whole teaching from home thing. There are some things I miss about being in my classroom. There are some things that are better, like I got to eat lunch with my dogs today, but I feel a little confused. By the end of the day today, I would love to feel like this one right here, that one with the sunglasses. Just saying, hey, everything's cool. We figured this out. We're ready to go again, and I want to be ready for tomorrow. So those are my two, what I feel like right now, and what I hope to feel like by the end of the day today. I can't wait to hear what you chose as well. So now it's our time to shine. We have gone from mixed numbers to improper fractions. We've multiplied mixed numbers by fractions. We've multiplied mixed numbers by whole numbers. And now it's time for us to do improper fractions, turn them into mixed numbers. So we went mixed numbers to improper fractions. Now we're going to go the other way around. So for that, we're going to take a couple quick notes, but first, oops, wrong button. I want to show us a picture of little me. We got a little distracted during my first block today, so now I've just been showing everybody pictures of baby Mr. Spencer. That is me. That is my confused face that I seem to always make when I was a baby, but I just want to make sure you all saw it as well. All right, so today, we are going to take just a couple of notes on improper fractions to mixed numbers. As always, if I go too fast at any point, just pause the video and get caught up. That is a beauty of watching a recorded lesson. You can pause it as many times as you want. We'll zoom in there a little as well. Then we're going to go mixed numbers from improper fractions, and by that I meant improper fractions to mixed numbers. Let's take a look at our example number today. We are going to go from 7/3, which is our improper fraction, and we are trying to get it to a mixed number. We don't know what mixed number yet, but that is going to be our goal today. So improper fraction, trying to make it into a mixed number. And we remember that a mixed number is made up of a whole number and then a fraction. So two parts to a mixed number. You see there's just one part right here. Since there's two parts, I wonder if there'll be two steps. But before we get into our math steps, I want us to break this apart in a drawing. I love drawing things out so we can see the process behind what we do. So I'm going to color in 7/3. I know that in one whole there are going to be 3 parts because our denominator is 3. So I'm going to shade in 7 parts of these. And I broke each whole into 3 parts. So I drew 3 holes separated into 3 parts each because I just knew that they were going to need to be 3 holes. If you didn't know that, that's okay. You could do it one by one. Now I'm going to shade in 1 box, 2 box, 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts, 6 parts, and 7 parts. All right, so we now have 7 parts shaded in, and each hole is split into 7. So I'm going to label this 7/3. All right, awesome. Well, let's take a look at this in another way. We know that there are 7 parts, and each one of these each hole is 3 parts. So our improper fraction is 7/3. Let's break it out and do a mixed number. Mixed number is made up of a whole number and a fraction. If you take a look at this drawing, do you see how many holes there are? How many whole boxes are shaded in? Well, I see that this one is completely shaded in, and this one is completely shaded in. So those are 2 that are completely shaded in. Then I see this one last little yellow piece over here, and I know that that is one yellow piece, but it's not a hole. It's part of a hole. It's one part of a hole, and in the hole there are 3 pieces. So it is 1/3 of the whole thing. So now we have a whole number and a fraction. That looks like our mixed number right there. So we have 2 and 1/3. Awesome. Now, I love that we can draw this out, and we could draw this out for any math problem where we were trying to get an improper fraction to a mixed number. But when we got some big improper fraction, or our denominator was quite large, it would be really tough to draw. So I'm also going to show us a quick 2-step way to get from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Our first step is going to be to divide the numerator by the denominator. All right, what is our numerator in this scenario? Well, our improper fraction is right up there at the top. Our numerator is the top number, so we're going to divide 7, the numerator, by the denominator, which is the bottom number, which is 3. What is 7 divided by 3? Well, I know right off the bat that that is not going to be a whole number answer. But I do know that 7 divided by 3 is going to be 2, because 3 times 2 is 6, and that's as close as I can get to 7 without going over. And then that leaves me a remainder of 1. So 2 remainder 1. Well, now we're in 5th grade, and we don't want to have a remainder there, so we're going to turn this into a mixed number. So our second step is to write the remainder over the denominator as a fraction. So write the remainder as a fraction over the denominator. All right, so we already have our 2 that is the whole number. And I know our remainder is 1. What was our denominator in the in the improper fraction? It was a 3. So that's going to be right there, 2 and 1/3. We can double check what we wrote because we know that this fraction right here is 1 over 3, which we can also read as 1 divided by 3. We knew that this remainder, we would continue to divide the remainder of 1 divided by 3, so that becomes our fraction. And now our mixed number is 2 and 1/3. Awesome job, everybody. Awesome. All right, I am going to give you 2 problems to solve on your own, and then we will reveal the answers on Wednesday. All right, your first problem to solve is 8/3 to a mixed number. Go ahead and try and solve that problem. And then our second problem is going to be 9/2 to a mixed number. All right, once you have solved those two problems, you are good for the day. If you have any questions with these at all, let me know and I can help you out. Other than that, I can't wait to see you back on Wednesday. Remember, no school, no assignments tomorrow, Tuesday, November 3rd, but I will see you back here on Wednesday, November 4th. I can't wait to see you back here. Have an awesome Monday, Trojans. Goodbye.